All right, we are live. Apex Sapien podcast with a Sapien and a thought. This is my nigga thought. And we're
And
gonna be
not
chopping up
thought,
some
not
game.
not THOT, but THOUGHT.
So for you guys that don't know, this has been my mentor for going on what, a fucking year now.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. We just been rocking, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just been
Yeah,
rocking, man.
yeah. So we met each other via Twitter Spaces. He was talking real, and
Yeah,
as a nigga who searches for the real, I chose to get a consultation. He opened my mind to the value as that I have as a man, the value that most of us has as a man. And since then, life has been on the up and up. I gotta show a lot of appreciation to the legend. It's
yeah.
the underground legend that most people don't know. But if you can, go have a good little bit about yourself before we get started about what's the cost.
For sure, for sure. No matter what you do in this world, and I do appreciate getting called a legend because I had a couple people call me a legend. I don't feel that way. I just feel like I was a man doing what I needed to do. Um, but everything costs in the real world. In the world of men, which is the real world to me, everything costs. And what it costs you is not necessarily what it's going to cost the next person that wants something from you, or who wants what you have. Uh, like I always tell people, don't let your food get cold worrying about what's on my plate. In other words, mind your goddamn business. Because if a person see me, and let's just say they see me with $100 in my pocket, in their mind, they only equate the $100. They're not looking at um, what it the total cost. They may see that $100, but not know that $100 may have cost me $200, or it may have cost me $300, or in some cases it may have cost me $500 because they don't know how to operate in the real world. In the real world, sometimes you have to take four, 3 or 4 steps back just to get 1, 2 steps ahead.
That's very real. I think most people who have ever did some real shit in life, the setbacks are almost unavoidable, especially in the early days,
Yeah,
because you're
especially when running a business. Especially
yeah,
when running a business.
and there's a lot of lessons to learn. And that's the thing. Like I'm learning as a business owner now. We were talking about this earlier. I have I think 10K a month, like as far as pure revenue, like the last 3 or 4 months. So realistically, my profit is close to like 4,000, 3,000. I'm barely scraping by. But yeah, I might have got 10K of revenue, but shit, it cost me goddamn $7,000, $6,000 to do it. And so most guys are not understand that. And this goes to like the women, to family, and all other types of shit. Like a lot of guys, like I got the girl, but what did the girl cost you? No shit. My freedom. A lot of niggas, the house, the kids. Like, yeah, I got the wife, but it cost me a divorce. It cost me fucking child support.
I know somebody right now. It just cost them a $1.5 million mansion,
Mm,
and that was just the beginning of the divorce.
damn, 1.5. Fuck.
Yeah, 1.5.
And see, shit like that, like we don't talk about this to guys because a lot of guys, they the image of what most guys look at, they look at the image, the flash, and that's merely what they project. And I think the internet has given a lot of people the ability to hide the true cost of what they're actually doing. Like you tell me all the time, the internet is it was a what type of land?
And to me, the internet is like an amusement park for pretenders. You know what I mean? Like anybody can pretend on the internet, but when you get on the concrete, that's one thing I loved about the pimp game is when you on the concrete, when you send that bitch to the blade, ain't no pretending. You know what I'm saying? Ain't it's only results or excuses.
Mm.
That's it. It's only results or excuses. You know what I'm saying?
So what?
Like I tell them, either she gonna bring me an ear corn or a reindeer horn. As long as she brought it to me, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
And why? What do you think was the shift where we have put less emphasis on the concrete because like I'm on the concrete every day as a handyman. I'm not out there like I'm pimping. I'm getting paid by women, but I'm not pimping. Like I'm not. You don't have to sell out the ass. But like I try to tell people, I'm joking. Like pimping ain't died. We just call them handymans. That's all they are now.
Right. Well, the game will never die. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell everybody, man, get connected with the game. Don't get attached to a bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Most of these guys, they attached to the bitch. You know what I'm saying? And she take them like everywhere she want to go, like in her pocketbook. And then the motherfucker get upset and want to kill herself and kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, man, if your manhood is attached to what a bitch do, guess what? You a bitch too. You know what I mean? And we just got to get back to some basic manhood lessons for these guys that's out here, man, because everything they do from the time they wake up in the morning to the time they lay down at night, man, is to impress the bitch. And then as soon as the bitch show disappointment or dissatisfaction, then they all of a sudden they want to take the whole world down with them instead of saying, "Hey, no, let me stand on my manhood. I made a decision because that's what I wanted to do." And that's what I mean when I say it costs. Um, this new thing now with social media, everybody saying they got to have a bad bitch. They want a bad bitch. I don't really understand it because, I'm different. I'd rather have a good hoe than a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand the point of having a bad bitch or what they call a bad bitch because the point of the name of the game is, you know what I'm saying, it's cop and blow, man. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's cooperation. You know, Conversation rule the nation, man, but only after a financial transaction is taking place. So why would you want a female around you that considers herself to be bad? Because in the ancient words, bad meant homosexual. So I really don't want no dyke around me, man, unless she gonna bring me, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of Disney money or something like that, man. I don't really get it, man. Like, okay, what's the point? We both gonna be fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a cheap ass beer or something. Nah. The point is get ahead, move ahead, think ahead. You got to be when you out there at the concrete, man. You got to be 5 to 10 to 20 steps ahead of your opponents, and you need somebody with a sober mind. You don't need somebody all jacked up and that's stuck in their vanity. You don't need a woman that's stuck in her looks. One of my mentors always taught me, man, a good looker hardly ever make a good hooker, man. I don't want the one that look the best. I want the one that hook the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I need that bitch, man, that's gonna stay in the wind like a prostitute chin. You know, um, that's really gonna get out there and mash it for some ration, man. That's gonna check that money, man, like the house on fire. So that's what you need when you out there in the real world. You need somebody that's gonna be down for you, um, like a good R&B record, man, on the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You need that new edition. You need that Can You Stand the Rain bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because storms will come. This we know for sure, just like the song say. You know, and when that storm comes, if you got a chick that's so focused on her looks, y'all both are gonna miss on the jackpot. Y'all both gonna miss on payday because Friday
Mm.
gonna come. The tricks is gonna be biting. If the first of the month gonna come around, the fifth gonna come around, or the third gonna come around, or the 15th, or however they do it, wherever you at, or if you hustling cross country, glory be to the game. If you hustling cross country, you're gonna miss your payday.
Mm.
You're gonna miss that Arab chick that wanna fly her out to Dubai. If she down with that GFE, you gonna
Wait,
miss
what's the
all of that.
GFE?
Uh, that's the GFE, but that's that girlfriend experience, man. It's a
Oh,
lot
okay,
of
okay.
it's a lot of professional tricks, man. That they paying for the girlfriend experience.
Uh, I think
Yeah,
most guys are paying for that now. They just don't know it.
yeah, of course they are, man. You know what I mean? I mean, the world is run by squares, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Um, it's like I always say, man. The pimp is the victim, man. The bitch is the burden, and the trick is the champion. Um, so, with that being said, the trick is always gonna get what he want out the deal because he drives the industry. It's a demand-driven industry. Whatever he wants, that's what's gonna happen. Because he's dictating the show.
Mm.
It's your job as a man or as a guy to lead that female and preside over her properly and teach her what it is to properly get sent outside Getting sent outside just means she's going outside with instructions. The
Mm,
worst thing you could do, man, to it's just like a business, any business. If you damage your name is your brand. You know, if you damage your name and you sending girls outside without no instructions, that's going to represent on you. You know what I'm
makes sense.
saying? Right.
Yeah, it's like
Glory
an
be to the
employee.
game, man.
Yeah, a rogue employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
you got to pay the insurance costs. If they go fuck up your shit, breaking windows and stuff, the owner's not coming to the play. They're calling your phone. And see, I think a lot of guys they want a woman, but they don't want the responsibility of maintaining and giving the proper instructions of having a woman. That's a way
Right.
bigger part. They just like the pussy. That's it. That's all they got.
Right. So
They
they
don't
don't have a
understand.
woman in the first place. They just got some pussy.
Yeah, I say most couples or most relationships in today's age is two independent contractors that just meet up to fuck. That's
Right.
basically what we got going on today.
Man,
There's no partnership, no leadership.
they just sex strangers with memories. That's all they are.
Mm,
They just sex strangers with memories. That's it.
it's true. And
Like
it's like
like really think about it. Really think about
sex
what they
strangers
have.
remember.
They're not
Mm,
together.
You know, it's crazy in these streets, man. I'll be talking to people. A lot of these women say, "Well, we have an equal partnership. We take different leads. I take lead sometimes. He takes lead." I'm just like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you can't have a team with two leaders. How's that work?
Right.
Like, you got two leaders going. That means you got two separate directions. Ain't nobody going the same direction. So either he following you, which most likely in most situations is the guy's following the chick, and then she just kind of makes up in her head, or the guy tells himself that he's leading because he protects her as wherever she goes. Like he acts. Yeah, it's like most guys are guard dogs. We're gonna keep it a stack.
Right. Right. They just pit bulls.
Like I was talking to one of my a business partner of mine. And I basically I had to explain to him like the average human being that you come across, they might be human, but they're a dog brain as far as like their ability to like they're no different than a dog. They follow food and they follow fucking and pussy. That's it. That's all they got. That's all they got in their bag.
Unfortunately, it is that way, and that's only because they haven't developed and cultivated their own manhood. Whenever you abandon your manhood, you're gonna a simp is gonna be the outcome. Like you just gonna be a glorified simp.
Hmm. No, you ain't
Don't
lying.
get it twisted. They get respect from other simps, but they don't get respect from men. You know what I mean? Like simps will always acknowledge other simps,
I
but
can see it.
men just they just gonna look at you like, man, nah, that wasn't being no man. That's like pushing down a retarded third grader and then saying I'm a real gangster. It's like real gangsters don't do that. Real gangsters gonna look at you with that side eye like, man, you a bitch. No, you're not no gangster. There ain't nothing gangster about you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you? Kind of think about this a lot of manhood. What is the cost to be a man?
Freedom.
For the, Hmm.
And what if I had to sum it up in one word, it'd be freedom. Freedom. That's the only safe place for a man. Is freedom. Anything else, you leave in manhood and you going into something else. You know what I'm saying?
And is there ever true freedom for a man, or is it just a never-ending field that you're constantly running down?
Um, it's true freedom, with the cost is peace. Um, it's kind of like somebody saying, "Well, I'm gonna give you freedom," and you go, "No, I could pay for freedom. You can't give it to me. It's something that must be negotiated.
Hmm.
Nobody can give you freedom. Freedom is something that you have to secure for yourself, and you secure for yourself freedom by losing peace, by giving up peace."
That's heavy.
You know?
Yeah, that's heavy. So man
If
is
you
yeah.
if
Go
you're
ahead.
if you're not willing to go through some sleepless nights, some restless nights, you'll never have freedom. You may have comfort, but you won't have freedom. And people get that confused. Comfort is not freedom. Freedom is not comfort. You might
Mm,
have some relief, but you'll never have freedom. Freedom is when, okay, I'm autonomous. I don't have to listen to this bitch. I don't have to talk to this bitch. I don't have to answer a phone. I don't have to do nothing. That's free.
mm. I think that's what everybody's striving for,
Right.
to get to that point where you just, yeah, you just almost existence.
That's right.
Mm. So do you think if you have kids, can you be free?
Of course you can. But you have to bend and create and graft a different environment for those children. It's got to be based on your terms. If it's not, it's not freedom. It's a deal, but it's not freedom.
Mm. It's a deal, but it's not freedom.
Right. It's called The Art of the Deal. Actually, that was one of the best books I read was by Donald Trump. Art of the Deal. He's not a great person to me, but the information in the book was great
Well, what
because
is
he was
the?
saying
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't cut you off.
you should be able to negotiate a deal no matter where you are on the chessboard. Even if you on your deathbed, you should be negotiating. Even if you on your sick bed, you should be negotiating. Even if you're single, you should be negotiating. There's a deal out there for you. You just got to be able to find it, have the wherewithal and the uh, initiative to approach the deal. Look at what's going on right now in today's time with Israel and Palestine. They're still trying to negotiate peace deals out of all
Mm.
them airstrikes, out of all that violence.
They're still trying to figure it out.
Man,
You think they're ever gonna get that shit put in pocket, or is it just it's gonna be forever?
it, it,
I do.
that stuff's been going on for a long time, man. It's like to me, that's like saying are the Crips and Bloods ever gonna sit down and have peace? You know,
Hell no. They gotta fight for some reason. That's interesting, man. Because I really think about this as I'm growing as a business owner. Like I think I'm 4 months in, 5 months in now. I got comfortable with the idea of uncertainty. I just kind of accepted that doesn't bug me as much. But looking at like projecting my future out and trying to figure out how to have a what's the word? How to be able to work as hard as I'm working and then see a light of freedom at the end of the tunnel where I have complete freedom of my time, where I don't have to go to work anymore. And one of the things I kind of realized when it's called about like paying the cost, it's like the cost of me being able to have all that free time on the back end is all the hours I'm working on the front end. And it's like one of the things you kind of realize with most guys is most guys they're not willing to pay that cost up front. So they delay, don't build a skill set, delay. And it's not till they get to the end of their fucking life, then they try to fucking overload on skills. And now they're paying for the cost of being a man. Like, am I making some sense?
yeah, no, you making perfect sense, but that's part of the reason why so many people die with regrets
Hmm.
because they procrastinated and procrastinated. They never got started. Um, the journey of 1,000 miles started with one step. You
Yeah,
got to
most
make
guys.
up in your mind. You got to make up in your. It's no different than going to the gym. The moment that you make a decision to go to the gym, it gets easier and easier.
Hmm.
But you got to make it. You got to make a decision.
And what you did that decision is it usually like a trigger point. It's like one of the things I call it where something an event happens to you, something hits you where you finally go, "Fuck it, I'm in now." Or do you think people can just come to that terms on their own without the external pressure?
No, it usually takes a lot of motivation. And motivation is that desire. I suggest people. listen to Les Brown, Jim Rohn, your favorite motivational speaker. If you know you need to be motivated, if you know you need to be motivated, find you a motivational speaker and listen to the audio tape.
Mm.
I mean,
And
I
what is
still listen to motivational speakers like Archbishop Don Magic Juan, Pimpin' Ken, legendary Kenny Red. Those are my motivational speakers. You know what I'm saying? Gorgeous Dre, Andre Taylor, his illustrious father. You know what I'm saying? These are men who exhibited greatness,
mm.
but it started with just being a man. Like, Gorgeous Drake's his famous quote: "You got to be a man before you could be a pimp."
Now you always told me something. I remember when we first started our consultations. You always tell me like I'll ask you a question, and this nigga would tell me, "Establish your manhood, reestablish your manhood."
That's right.
And I used to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What does that even mean?"
That's right. It,
And you just keep
when
repeating it, keep repeating. I'm just like, "What the fuck? What is he telling me?" So can you explain what does that mean to establish your manhood and reestablish it, and why is that important?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. Establishing your manhood is important, not for everybody else. It's important for you because the role, number one, being a man is not a full time job, it's an all time job. So you're going to get tired, you're going to get weary, you're going to want to quit, you're going to try to quit. But what it does is it provides you with a proper reference point. Once you establish your manhood, the moment that you establish it that first time, you forever in your mind have a reference point. Just like Washington, D.C. is the capital of America, the United States of America. Well, now you have a reference point for the United States of America. When you establish your manhood, what you're doing, you're establishing a reference point and a capital for your future. This is important for men because most men desire women. Women are opposite than men. A man is more concerned about a woman's past. A woman is more concerned about a man's future. So when you're dealing with a woman and you do not establish your manhood and then reestablish it, you don't give her a national capital as a reference point for where you're going to be in the future. And that's dangerous.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. That's
That's
really good.
dangerous.
Actually. Ah. So, what would be the first step for the young man trying to establish their man? What would be the first step for him? Say you're living at home, you're
Principle,
18. Oh, principal. All right.
principles. Because there's nothing that helps you establish your manhood like principles. To give you an example, the five principles that I operate on are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those are universal principles. No matter where I am on the earth, those principles can be applied in government. And when I say government, meaning governing my mind, that's government to me. Not me trying to enforce my will on somebody else. That's not government to me. That's just being a tyrant. Government is how I think because I'm the man that has to do the thinking.
Hmm. That's hard. So, can you rephrase that again? The your four pillars of was it four?
Five.
All right, my apologies. Five. It was
Yeah,
like love, truth.
five principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And if anyone violates those principles for me, the principles of love, truth, peace, and freedom, justice must take its proper course. I've been on the
Mm.
battlefield. I'm like Fiend on the War Wounds record. Don't ask me will I shoot because I done shot. I've already put my work in. I've established my manhood many, many moons ago. So a woman that's with me, she knows. Wait a minute, this man established his manhood way back in. I I ain't gonna say the date, but my manhood is established. If I say I'm gonna bust somebody head, their head gonna be bust.
That's real.
If I say somebody gonna end up in the hospital, you can chalk them,
And
and
for
I'm
good
not
reason
gonna
too.
run, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna run because I've been tested and did not run. You can call the police, you call your mama, uncle, you call your cousin, you call your brother. If I get you, you got.
Oh, speaking of this, are you familiar with Nate Boone?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, was he familiar with? Because I know you told me you spent a little time running the D, not like a crazy amount, but were there ever any stories about this man? 'Cause I think I would say you guys are close in age or somewhat.
Um,
Was he known out
yeah, I
there?
mean, you hear the names like Maserati, Red, Boone, and them best friends crew, but it's a dime a dozen, man. It's a million killers in Detroit.
Uh,
It's 4 million drug dealers in the D.
ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know, everybody's a killer, man. Like literally, everybody's a killer. Detroit
Mm.
is not a. It's not a. It's not like Topeka, Kansas, where it's like, oh man, these legendary stories of this one dude that was tough. Motherfucker, you gotta have at least 20 bodies for somebody to even halfway respect your killer status in the D.
Dang, that's ridiculous. God damn.
I mean, you got one or two bodies, they gonna call you an accident murderer, especially if you on the east side. That's it's like he's an accident murderer. He a
Mm,
notepad killer. He a rapper motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
it makes sense. Well, hey, we're running up on time because my whatever you call it, my stream lab. I got the trial membership, so I ain't got the fancy. We gotta get our money up a little bit. We're
All
gonna
right,
run
ain't
this
no
back.
problem.
Yeah, we're
Good
gonna run this back again. Let's see. I gotta put out your handle. Well, it's like Yadidi, or how do you say it?
idea. It's just like idea, but the only difference is there's one Y and two I's. So it's still the pronunciation guide is still the same. So it's still pronounced idea.
That's clever as fuck. I didn't realize that. I thought I kept. I was calling you Yadidi. Like I
No,
would
no,
be
no,
thought
no.
that you.
No, it's just like when you double up on the vowel. The only difference is when you add one consonant in front, it doesn't change. It stays the same hard vowel pronunciation.
You know what? That's another word. Man, we gotta talk about this. Like, I was thinking about this the other day before we got like 2 more minutes. I was always thinking about how did the alphabet and words get formed, and then how did we create this vast vocabulary? Because I imagine when humans first started to interact, it was facial gestures mm, like
Part
shit
of
like
it,
that.
part of it, but more of it was the Moors. You got to remember everything. Every written letter is a word in and of itself. It's a character that came from. They say the Greek alphabet, but it wasn't Greek. There was no Greece. There was just the Phoenicians, and the Phoenicians were Moors. So they were ancient Asiatics who established what we now call the alphabet.
That's our next podcast. We gotta go over the history of the Moors, the true root of the so called blacks, which is really the Asiatic. Which you put me on game on that, and then the
Right.
etymology, because you are a world class like writer and understanding just like words. You put me on a lot of shit that I did not understand about the true meaning of words. Things I didn't even understand are peeped out. So that has to be the next segment: etymology, Moors, and Asiatic.
Yep. We can do it.
All right, appreciate your thought. We're gonna end the stream, and then I'll holler at you people. New episode probably dropping. I don't know, probably this next weekend. We'll get back to it.
Yep. All right, man. 100.
All right, just hang on for a minute. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the stream. Then we can chop it up at the end of it.
Okay.